Infinite Creator, hello. We need a proper talk about the wobbles. The wobbles are when your expansion, your growth feels like an earthquake. And what are the wobbles, you may ask? Well, the wobbles happen when you experience a consciousness shift, an expansion in your awareness. And your 1.0 version of self, that's the version of you who learned to perform instead of be present. It's the lizard brain survival mentality version of you who likes to have everything figured out, because that version of you likes to feel that if you have certainty, you have safety. Unfortunately, that's the version of you that sabotages your growth into your 2.0, which is really no one or nothing you're becoming. You are already that, but you're shrouded by overlays and layers of masks and roles and ideas and beliefs about who you thought you needed to be in order to feel safe or deserving or prove your worthiness. So let's talk about it. Let's explain the wobbles, that weird, disorienting moment when your whole being feels like it's short-circuiting after a big leap in consciousness. And I'll bet you dollars to donuts, a good portion of you listening are feeling that right now. When your 1.0 self, the part of you wired for survival, predictability, and control, starts to throw a tantrum because it senses change, and change equals unsafety. It clings to the old codes of safe, even when you've clearly outgrown that frequency. And so meanwhile, your 2.0 self, the infinite creative intelligence of your being, knows this isn't chaos, it's calibration. It's the sound of your next evolution landing in your life in a very real world, hands-on way. And so I want to give you some guidelines here, some descriptions, and some ways to opt out of the wobbles and to notice them when they're happening and be able to move with this energy instead of trying to resist it or push it away. So if you're interested in hearing what's really happening here when you're wobbling, awesome. I'm going to explain it to you. And just so you know, my name is Catherine Massell, and I'm the velvet hammer that smashes right through the endlessly recycled spiritual awakening fluff that's rampant throughout what I call the spiritual marketplace, the metaphysical marketplace. I like to cut to the chase and get rid of the middleman entirely. There is no one holding you back from limitation except you. In my world, I share the lived-in wisdom of the oneness model of the universe, that is, living as the totality, the full frequency of you, knowing that you are 100% responsible for creating your experience of reality. And if you like that notion, you're going to like what I offer to you at the end of this talk here today with a group on Skool that just launched, the Liberate Collective. So let's get into it. Let's get into the content. And if you like this, you benefit from this content, please let me know. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know how this expanded your consciousness or maybe lifted you up and gave you a little hope or clarity or buoyancy today that wasn't there before. And if you really like this channel, you can show me how you like it by subscribing. All right, so let's get into it. Here's what's really happening when you've got the wobbles. Your field is expanding. Your power is surfacing in a way maybe you've never experienced it before, at least not in this lifetime. And the old operating system, your 1.0, is fighting for its life. It's not a breakdown. It is a bandwidth upgrade. It is an upgrade to your entire baseline of being. So let's reframe some of these things that happen, like exhaustion and confusion and grief and feeling hollow. And let me give you the 2.0 perspective of this reframe to see what's really going on and to take higher, more aligned action with moving towards more of what you prefer to be experiencing. So Here's the first one, exhaustion. A lot of us, after we up-level our consciousness and we have a shift in our awareness, we feel wiped out. We are spent. That's your body running diagnostics on a brand new frequency. You're metabolizing a new level of light that your body, your nervous system, your mind, your emotional field, your mental field is now ready to hold. It's now capable of holding. You're integrating a new level of power. And this isn't new to you. It's just that your power will feel like it's returning. And thus the wobbles. We need to digest those feelings that we couldn't before or wouldn't before. The old you thought you couldn't handle is now coming up to the surface. And this is you messaging you like, hey, you can handle this now. It's not burnout, but it can feel like like running a marathon. But actually, it's your luminosity coming back online. And it's a time to rest. It's a time to hydrate. It's a time to stop making exhaustion mean that something's wrong. In the oneness model of the universe, we share that nothing's wrong. What's really tiring you is the old identity trying to hold on while your full frequency expands. Confusion. Let's reframe it. Here's number 2. It is your consciousness reordering to align with your 2.0. In other words, your full frequency, you in full presence, all that which you are as an infinite creator. This is where nothing really makes sense anymore. It feels like nothing's working. This is where your perceived experience of expansion kind of scrambles logic, or what you held as logic, rationale, what you could analyze before and figure out, because your mind is grappling to map the infinite. But the mind is a servant of the heart. The mind is a servant of your infinite intelligence. The mind is a computer, and it really doesn't have the ability to map the infinite. It has no idea of what that is. The mind is good for mapping the finite. So you'll find yourself in a profound place of questioning everything you think you know. And I mean everything you think you know. But what seems at first like doubt, it isn't resistance, it's a detox. It's where you let the known, everything you thought you knew that made up your old 1.0 identity, it's where you let the known dissolve so your deeper intelligence can step in and guide you like it always has been trying to do. It's got a lot of layers to work through, at least up until now. But when you surrender more of those layers, that certainty that you would get addicted to as the 1.0, the old paradigm of you, well, that's replaced by presence, full frequency as your new currency. Number 3, grief. We have to talk about grief. This is a big one for a lot of us. You feel grief of loss, letting go of an old self that actually did serve you quite well. You have some sentimentality for it. It's okay. But that version of you always had an expiration date. You curated a version of you that kept you alive because it kept you safe. Well done, 1.0. But that's not the version of you that embraces or even knows your infinite nature and won't naturally accept expansion as your truth. So holding this contrast within you only seems like grief and loss. That's okay. Grieve it. Grieve that version of you. Let those feelings move through you instead of trying to push them away or say that they're wrong or they shouldn't be there. Lay flowers at the feet of that version of you and thank it. Love it. Then realize that without letting that grief and sense of loss move through peacefully without resistance, your full frequency will only and ever be half realized, half actualized. Let go of that version that is still clinging to certainty and safety and trust the unfolding of more of your infinite nature. You might suffer the illusion here that you're broken or that nothing's working. You are breaking patterns. You are breaking conditioning. You are not broken. Every identity you've ever worn served you beautifully. How could it not? If it's all here, all serving your expansion, how could it have not been inclusive in your journey of growth? But it is sacred armor that you have to lay down. Lay down your sword. Lay down your pieces of armor, your emotional armor, significantly so, because it becomes your cage. It has become your cage. But you're actually ready to fly. You're ready to soar at a new frequency. So give that proper goodbye, proper burial. Grieve the old self that kept you safe. Thank her, honor her, lay flowers at her or his feet. Then let that version of you rest. Think of it like returning that misspent or misunderstood energy back into the void of infinite possibility so it can return as even more of your power. Because the version of you that thrives in your infinity cannot coexist with the one who believed that safety was outside of you somehow. And here's the final one. This is a profound one for some of you, based on what you've shared with me and some of the wonderful work we've done in surrender sessions. That was a 5-day journey of liberation. That was so amazing. I'm still getting wonderful comments on that. The description of that is in the comments. And for under $30 right now, it's an incredible 5-day adventure of returning your power to yourself. So number 4, feeling hollow. What used to light you up or excite you feels hollow. Kind of like a pale shroud or mask over something that now feels like a deeper connection with yourself, a deeper communion with God, source, infinite intelligence. The things that used to be or used to call part of your everyday rigmarole, translating to people, events, situations, your living situation, your life's work, your job, career, your love life, your friends and family, all of that might seem, I don't know, maybe trivial, maybe a little empty sometimes, maybe like it doesn't resonate for you anymore. All of it is okay. When your old passions lose their spark, it's not apathy, it's alchemy. You're tuning to a subtler frequency of fulfillment. So old joys fade so that new, richer alignments can emerge. This is life inviting you into deeper devotion, less performance, more presence. And you're not being tested. That's a commonly misunderstood kind of way of sussing this out. You think you're being tested. But it's you, as yourself, by yourself, to yourself, asking you to recommit to your highest preference. To create from joy, not from proving. To live from freedom, not from fear. To delight in more of what is working out, in alignment with what you say you want. To put your attention and awareness on that, on what you most prefer to experience. It's an invitation to notice and appreciate your expansions that are happening right now, moment to moment, instead of placing your attention continually on what is collapsing or falling away. Your awareness is key. Your attention is the most powerful energetic real estate that you possess. That's why there's so many things in the world vying for it. Because what you choose to be aware of is what is being highlighted as the most important thing in your life, the thing you want more of. So let your signal be clear, not distorted by the static of being double-minded and hyper-focused on what is being lost. Because here's a final reminder. As an infinite creator, can anything really be lost? In the cosmological ordering of oneness, where everything is included, how can anything be lost? It can only be transmuted into more of your power. So in the comments, I'd love to know which one of these that I illuminated here, these 4 different wobbles with the reframe, which one resonated with you the most? Why? What's going on for you right now? Where this really helps to give you some clarity, maybe even some hope, maybe even a little bit more lightness and inspiration. for choosing more of what you want and putting your attention on less of what you don't? I'd love to know in the comments. And if you want to take this further, more than just a guideline for working with the wobbles, but support so that when you go into them, how to gain more of your power back instead of giving yourself over to the wobbles. Because when we do that, we tend to go back to the 1.0 or suffer the illusion that we can even go back to the 1.0. Because every time we're expanding, we're always looking at what's next from the pinnacle of our last expansion. There is no going back. We can play with the idea and pretend that we can. That's how powerful of a creator you are. You can pretend or perform as your 1.0, even though you might be realizing right now, I'm not anymore. I'm my 2.0. I want to commit and devote myself and dedicate myself to that. Well, that's the powerful work I share with people in my community. So if you're willing to accept the possibility that you are 100% the creator of your reality and you want to build on that foundation powerfully, simply, elegantly, this is the Liberate Collective. This is Liberate Flow 2.0, my 12-week program. All this information, including what I mentioned about the surrender sessions, it's all in the description of this video. I hope this message finds you today with feeling more inspiration, expands more the love that you are. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.